Hi guys, welcome back to the 401 files. Oh, this is new. A big conifer tree's fallen down right through the middle of where I walk. So looks like we've had some kind of wind, enough to bring a tree down anyway. But I'm heading back to the shelter as always, and it's been roughly about 2 weeks now since my last visit. I'm hoping that everything is still intact, still standing, left undiscovered. But we will see. We'll see when we get there. Again, lots of deer trails on the floor. I can see that deers are still coming through this way, so that's always a good sign. My presence here hasn't been enough to deter the deers, which is always nice. It means that I've left very little impact from building this shelter. It's not scared them out of this area, is what I'm trying to say. It's amazing to think that this has been left unattended now for a while, and nothing's out of place, nothing's been touched, broken, disturbed. So yeah, you can't ask for much more than that. Things seem drier this time. I'm not sure if that's because we've had less rain or putting this side up here on the left has made a big difference. I'm not sure why that is, but yeah, it just seems to be less damp. Everything seems more dry, which I'm not complaining. That's a brilliant thing. And it can only get better once I start to fill in these gaps on the side walls and completely just waterproof this whole tap. It's going to be bone dry, which is exactly what I want. So yeah, I'm not complaining. I just didn't think that that side wall would make that much of a difference, but clearly it has. It is a fascinating area, and it's one that's got a lot of stories tied to it that demand explanations. The trouble is that people have tried over the years and no one can even make sense of some of these stories, so that's where the difficulty lies. But it's fascinating nonetheless, and like I said, if you are interested in cryptids, UFOs, ghosts, etc., then this is your bread and butter, this is your kind of thing. As far back as the Vikings, there have always been terrifying tales of creatures that roam this island. Creatures that defy our basic understanding. Werewolves, dogmen, wild men, fae folk, ghosts, aliens, and much more. What these creatures are, or what their intentions for being here are, nobody really knows. But one thing we can quite safely say is that with so many present-day sightings still taking place, it would appear that whatever these creatures are, they never really left. You know what's really frustrating is that I've got this beautiful fleece blanket here, which is super warm, dry and snug. And Lily will just not lie in it. She'd rather lie in the dirt. She's dug herself a hole over there and that's where she's happy. So yeah, I can't try any more times to get her up on the bed. I mean, she's been up 3 times. She's tested it out. She's lied down for 5 minutes. But each time she just jumps off and lies in the hole that she's dug. Do you know, it'd be really good if I could find a tree stump somewhere that I can use as a solid base to split wood and make fire shavings, like wood shavings. That'd be great if I could find something like that, but There's not many around in this area, so I might have to saw through one of these fallen trees, which is going to take me forever because they are really, really thick, and I've only got like the handsaw. But needs must, I need a stump. So I haven't decided yet whether this is going to be some kind of a log shed. Obviously I've got the sides, the roof to put on, just a nice dry place to store wood, or if I'm going to turn this into like a kennel for Lily. So she's close by then. If I'm sat in the bed, I can see where she is. She can go inside this little den and make herself comfortable in there. Yeah, I'm undecided as to what to do at this point, but I'll get the sides and the back on, and the roof as well, sorry, and then I'll make my decision from there. But I think I'd like this to be like a kennel for Lily. But if she's not going to go in it, I can always use it for wood. Hi guys, welcome back. This is day 2. I'm on my way now. I'm heading down to the shelter that I've been working on for the last few weeks. There's been about a week of elapsed time since I was last here visiting the shelter, and I'm back here again in an area that you guys love to see me out filming with boots on the ground. This is an area that's steeped in very, very strange mythology, folklore, and real life tales of people seeing strange things. Things that have affected their lives forever. We're talking about UFOs, extraterrestrials, wild cryptids, and everything in between. You guys stay tuned, hopefully you'll enjoy this, and I'll see you at the end. So I'm thinking about coming next week to spend an overnight camp here at the shelter. I'm going to bring my sleeping bag, a pillow, some food, etc., and try and spend the night in the shelter, just talking to you guys and filming quite a lot. I think that would be a really good video, and it's basically it's the main reason as to why I built this shelter in the first place, is to have somewhere that I can escape to, but also with it being in the location that it is, a hotspot for these creepy and strange stories that do come forward. Why not come and spend the night talking to you guys? And truth be told, I was supposed to come last night and sit here just talking to the camera for a little while, but there was like a mental block inside my head that wouldn't let me get in the car. It was just like that thought of jumping in the car, traveling the distance to get here, and then walking through the woods to reach shelter in the middle of the night. That seemed like an impossible task for me last night. It just seemed too creepy, which is weird because I've spent loads of nights and loads of times under the stars out on my own. So I'm just thinking maybe it's because those nights that I do spend on my own in the woods, I'm there from daylight through dusk to night. And the difference being that when you're at home, you haven't seen that transition, you haven't seen the night slowly creeping up on you, and you just go from the safety of your own home into your car and throw yourself straight into it. I don't know, maybe that's what it was. Maybe it was just that I'd not spent any time in the woods yesterday, and yeah, the idea of walking through here in the night, yeah, it just seemed a bit creepy. So I put that off and I didn't do it, but I do need to start biting the bullet and getting down here much more often after dark. Go get a stick. That's mine. Sit. Down. Leave. Leave. She's running off. She's doing big laps with my cordage in her mouth. Lily, I need that back. Come. Sit. Leave. Leave. It's mine. I know you like this, but it's not a toy, baby. Hiding that under there from you. Stand. Go, go. UK, August 1965. Phenomena started with several occurrences of weird noises heard coming from the skies above the town of Warminster. A slow-moving bright light was also spotted, which was buzzed by an RAF jet. Later, 4 people in Towbridge saw an object comprised of 3 lights in a triangular formation. Everyone involved said that they were convinced what they had seen was a UFO. UK, 1979. Robert Taylor encounters a metallic sphere hovering in a clearing in the woods. As he approaches, 2 smaller spheres emerged and start to drag him towards the object. This would become known as the only case in UFO history to go down as a criminal assault. UK, November 28, 1980. Policeman Alan Godfrey is attending numerous reports that cows have escaped a nearby field. While en route, Alan sees a strange craft hovering a few feet above the road. Alan Godfrey is then blinded by a bright light and abducted by unknown entities. UK, late December 1980. A series of UFO incidents at Rendlesham Forest would send shockwaves through the UFO community, with many calling this the UK's version of Roswell. UK, December 1st, 1987. Philip Spencer is walking across Ilkley Moor to meet his father-in-law. Spencer, who would often take his camera along with him, noticed an unusually strange-looking figure standing in the morning mist. Spencer quickly raised his camera and snapped a single photo that would now become famously known as the Ilkley Moor alien. So quiet. So this is the latest I've ever been to the new shelter. I've never been to the new shelter in the new location after dark, and so I'm very anxious right now, because there's literally about 20 minutes worth of light left, and I already know that in that woods right now it's going to be pitch black, so I need to start making a move. I've got to get Lily out of the boot. I've got my lantern with me and my bag, etc. that I need to get on and start making tracks. So yeah, this is going to be a bit of a scary one, guys. I'm not going to lie. This is going to be quite scary. I am anxious, like I've already said. And again, as always, questioning myself, why the hell do I do this? I'm just walking now and I can see through the woods. It's absolutely pitch black in there, so I'm going to have to switch over to the camera. Well, keep this camera rolling, but switch over to using my torch as well at the same time. Otherwise you guys won't see me. So as I'm walking through here, I'm going to have to stop at some point to pick up the game camera. And then there's the worry that there's something on the game camera. And I'm heading to camp. That's a worrying thought, like the fact that I could pick up this game camera right now and record it to the SD card could be something extremely creepy. And I won't know that until I get home, so that means I could be sat in this woods the whole time with that on the SD card. Oh no, the light's gone out. No. Oh, 1 second. The light's going. I've got the dodgiest light ever. Right, which way is it? This way. I'm not using this light on the way back. The connection is not strong enough. Like the metal prongs that have to touch the battery don't make a full connection. Lily, stop pulling. I'm going to switch over the lights because that's just too annoying. It's casting all kinds of shadows, and right now I can't see in that direction, like looking out into the woods, which is half of where my anxiety lies. So I'm going to get rid of that light and put the lantern up inside the shelter. I think that will work a lot better. Lily, you stay close by. Lily, come. Come. So this is it. This is the first night in the new shelter, in the new location. I feel a lot better that I've got Lily with me. She's just off in front of me now, chewing a stick. I can still hear the birds chirping away, but I'm not sure if that's because I've just pushed through the woods and they're all on kind of like high alert. I'm not as scared as I thought I would be. I think the scariest part is walking through the woods, and I will have to do that same journey on the way back as well. But now I'm here, I think this shelter and how homely it is really makes me feel a bit more at ease with everything. Obviously that could change if I see something or hear something. This only does so much in the way of keeping your nerves calm. But yeah, I'm so pleased that I've got this place now, somewhere that I can come talk to you guys. You know, I was thinking about something on the way here, and you know, I go down a lot of rabbit holes, and I'm going to try and do my best now to explain what it is that I've been thinking about, because a lot of the time I have these thoughts that flash in my head and they come and go so quick, and they make sense to me because they're in my head, but trying to relay them to you in a way that makes sense is sometimes quite difficult. So yeah, what I was thinking about is the way that everything came to be, the universe. We're told that everything came from nothing, pretty much. I know there were like gas clouds and gravity to some degree at that point in the beginning, but I think it's safe to say that nobody knows for sure what there was in the beginning. And everything that you see, your life included, came from nothing, came from a big bang. And I started thinking that in itself is a paranormal occurrence, because if a tennis ball dropped in front of you right now from thin air, you would be questioning your sanity. You would be thinking that that was a paranormal event because something materialized from nothing. And that's exactly what the universe, or what we're led to believe the universe did, materialized from nothing. Everything you see, feel, touch, think even, came from nothing. At one point, if we go further enough back in time, there was nothing. I just can't get my head around that. And so, by the very essence of what a paranormal occurrence is, I would say that even our earliest beginnings were quite mystifying, quite paranormal in nature. It's a fascinating thing, life. Not just life, but how we came to be, why we're here. And does it stop here? Like, is this the end of the road once this life is over? Or do we move on somewhere else? For a long time, I've always believed that we do. I've always believed that we do go somewhere else and that this isn't the end of the road. But does everybody make the cut? We hear a lot about heaven, about hell, people living in sin, people being angels and living the right way. And is there a right and wrong way? Like, who gets to decide that? Extraterrestrials, like living out there and now in the universe, which I highly believe that they do they live under these same constraints? On this distant planet, wherever they may be, are they all trying to live in accordance to some god of theirs? Or are they the gods? Are they the ones that visited us many, many years ago, our ancient ancestors, and because we was very limited with our understanding of the world around us, and we couldn't just grasp how someone could fly from another planet and visit us in a spaceship, maybe we called them gods? You can go down so many rabbit holes with this whole, who are we, why are we here, and where are we going? I mean, they're the three biggest questions of all. Like, who are we? Why are we here, and where are we going? If you could answer any one of those three questions, I'm sure you could make a lot of people happy. Lily, come. Come up here. Up. Up. Stop being silly. If you wander off, you're going on the lead. She's mischievous. Lily, come. I'm telling you, if you wander off, you're going back on the lead. It's your call. What's the matter with you? Why won't you lie down? Come on. Up. Lie down. A lot of people ask me questions on social media about what I think on a certain subject, what I believe about a certain topic. And in all fairness, guys, I'm just like you. I'm just out here trying to figure out what the hell is going on for myself, trying to make sense of things and piece together the puzzle as best I can, because I don't ever claim to know all the answers, and I don't. And if anybody is telling you that they know all the answers, then just limit the time that you spend around those people, because nobody does. Nobody knows what's going on and why people are seeing these strange things that can't be explained. Nobody understands why one person might see something, but yet someone can live their whole life and never experience a single thing. No one knows these. No one has the answers to these questions. And I'm one of those people. I don't have the answers. That's why I come out here and do these videos. To bounce off like-minded people, as I always say, like yourselves, you guys that are watching this. Because to think that I know everything because I have a YouTube channel, for Christ's sake, or to think that I know everything because I make videos on the subject is so naive and so arrogant that I would never do that. And I do see people doing that a lot. People out there making videos, and people that don't make videos, just people that you come across in everyday life. They've had an experience, and all of a sudden now, because they've had an experience, they think they have all the answers, and you don't have the answers. You can have 20 experiences, or you can have them every year for the rest of your life. It doesn't mean that you have the answers. Regardless of what these beings are telling you, regardless of what impact it had on your life, you don't know anything, and neither do I. And I don't think we ever will. I've said this before in my videos, I don't think we ever will. I can't foresee a day where everything is black and white and we have all the answers. I just can't see that. But that's never going to stop me from getting out here and talking to you guys and trying to find out what is happening. And I don't mean like try to find out what is happening in a way that will bring the smoking gun. I mean, in a way that makes me think, actually, that makes the most sense. That's all I'm after, is just trying to make sense of this stuff. If I could prove to myself that there are other dimensions that we're living amongst, and these beings, creatures, are able to slip in and out of these dimensions, then that for me would be a huge leap in the right direction. Is that proof? No, because I can't prove it. But if I was to see something for myself that undoubtedly leaves no more room for any other cause, then that's it for me. That's what I want. So I picked up the game camera on the way in. I'm not sure if you guys could hear me there, because I had the light on one tripod and I had my phone on this tripod and the lead in this hand as well, while Lily was pulling me. So I'm not sure if you heard me, but I stopped off and I picked up the game camera on my way in. And what I was saying is that it's quite a scary thought, really, because here I am now, sat in the shelter with the game camera tucked safely in my bag. And who knows what that thing picked up last night. While I was at home, this thing was still out here recording. And can you imagine if I get back and on the SD card, it's recorded something that's absolutely horrific or frightening, terrifying. And yet here I am with it sat in my bag right now, completely unawares that I'm in the same location that only last night something was recorded. That'd be a scary thought. I'm just very aware. Very, very aware of noises. And I think the reason I'm waffling on so much is because I don't want to stop, even for a second, to have a listen of what's around. I'm not going to stay here too long tonight, guys. I've not got my sleeping bag or a tent or anything like that. I just wanted to come in and absorb this area, because I am going to start making my way back here now more and more on a night. And I'd like to think it becomes more manageable, like less and less scary the more I do that. So this was the first step on the ladder to making that happen. You know, it doesn't really matter if you believe or disbelieve in any of the things that I talk about on this channel. Because if you throw yourself in these situations where you're in the middle of the woods, in an area where things supposedly happen, if you're a non-believer, you'll find that a defense mechanism still kicks in, and yet you're a non-believer. So why does that happen? Why do we become extra sensitive to shapes, shadows, lights, and hyper-vigilant to things that are around us if we don't believe? And yet I'll guarantee that every single person, if they were to put themselves in the situation that I'm in now, sat in the woods, on your own, would 100% feel the same. And so, in some ways, we're all the same, believers and non-believers. The only thing that changes that is the environment. A lot of non-believers sit at home and they never get out. They never try this stuff themselves. And it's easy to dismiss anything when you're in the comfort of your own home. But when you sat here and in the dead of night, on your own, just the wind blowing through the tops of the trees, and you've got all the stories that have come from this area running through your head at 100 miles an hour, it's a very different ball game. And I'll give you an example of this. I've heard stories of a werewolf type creature that stands on 2 feet. It's about 7 feet tall, has red glowing eyes. This is something that people have reported in this area. This is something that people have reported multiple times here in the UK. It stands often in the shadows and watches unsuspecting campers, hikers. And a lot of the time people believe that they only got away by the skin of their teeth. They often feel like that if there wasn't a deciding factor like a dog or somebody wasn't holding a torch or a weapon at the time, that this thing would have attacked. This is a story that keeps coming forward time and time again. Sorry. Yeah, this is a story that keeps coming out of this location time and time again, and also other places here in the UK. Now, do I believe that? Not necessarily. I don't believe that. I have no reason to believe it because I've never seen it. I don't know anybody personally that has seen it that I could trust and put my belief into. But it doesn't matter because, like I've just said, I'm here now and that's all I can think about. Is this 7-foot creature, bipedal, werewolf-looking entity, whatever it is, demonic creature. I'm not sure what it is, but I was just trying to give you an example of how sometimes, even though you don't believe certain things, it doesn't really matter, because when you're here, you find reasons to make things plausible. And I guess the fine art is knowing how to step away every now and then and just calm yourself down, because it's very, very easy to run away with ourselves, let our emotions take control, let our heart rate go through the roof, and before you know it, we're running through the woods and we feel like someone's chasing us, and it's very easy to fall into that trap. So every now and then, as hard as it is, it's a good idea just to reset and think logically again. I'm under no illusion that this right now could be the last time that I ever get out. If something happens to me now that's life-changing, I'm never coming out again. And that is a reality that I have to face. And it's stupid. It's a stupid one, because that's why I'm here. I'm here to experience things. I'm here to try and find out what's going on. I'm here to try and get answers, but we don't get to decide to what extent. And if something extremely disturbing happens to me tonight, for example, let's say I'm abducted, or I see something running through the woods, or there's a pair of glowing red eyes staring back at me, then it's likely that I'm never going to come out here again and do this. I'd like to think that I would, but who knows what adverse effect an experience like that can have on you. This reptilian creature that I saw growing up was in broad daylight. It was a sunshiny, warm summer's day. How would it have affected me if I saw something like that now, in the dead of night, walking through the woods? And this is something that I have to remind myself all the time, is that every time I'm out could be my last time. Not just through injury, not just through going missing, not just through succumbing to some unfortunate event, but just having an experience, something that I've wanted for a long time. That wish might be granted, but it might be granted to such an extent that it affects me in a way that I can't recover. And I can't ever, I mean, you hear about it. You hear about these people that have a Bigfoot sighting. These hunters, they see a Bigfoot creature in the woods, they come face to face with it, and they never go back in the woods ever again. Like, they swear that they'll never step foot in the woods. And I've seen some programs where they actually do go back for documentary purposes or whatever it may be, and they're actually just shaking like a leaf, because the very thought of them being in the woods where this creature was is just too much. And so I have to be real with myself that, you know, I love doing these videos, I love making content and talking to you guys, and I would love to see something. But the unfortunate thing about that is I don't get to decide what it is that I see and what level of scary it is. You just get what you're given.